Hello, and welcome back to another video from trainingrite.com. This time we'll be discussing about another product of HP called Quality Center. What is Quality Center? What can it do, and how you, as a automation tester, QTP automation tester, would be using the Quality Center as your test management tool. Well, what Quality Center is, it is a test management tool from HP, or originally Mercury, and it's referred in a friendly way as QC, Quality Center as QC, and QC can be used to manage your requirements, your tests, and your defects. Many companies they prefer storing their scripts, the automation scripts which we come up with in QTP. They would like to store those scripts within QC, and later they want to run them from QC. So in this example, in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be walking you through as how we could interact with QC from QTP. This is basically how the quality center looks like. The UI, or the user interface of the quality center, when you install it, looks like this. So here you have the options of going into, as a software automation engineer, going into the quality center, or you could be going as a site administrator of Quality Center. Now, let me quickly take you into the site administrator and show you what you could do in there. So as you click in here, it's going to bring up the QC administration screen, wherein you have to authenticate yourself to get into the administration portion of the Quality Center. So in my case, I just kept my password as empty because this is just a demo. So when I do a login, it is going to take me into what is called the site administration of Quality Center. And as you can see here, I have a bunch of projects here. In fact, I have something called a Quality Center demo project, and then I have a domain here for banking, and in there I have some projects. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be quickly walking you through as how to create a domain. First of all, what is a domain, right? And why do we even need a domain, right? To answer that question, let me just quickly take you back again to Quality Center, and here let me try to access the Quality Center as a tester so that you could see why we need a domain. Well, if I click on this, sometimes depending on the way you have installed, you might get errors like this. So if you take a look into the UI, or UI, the address, the URL rather, it is my server, which is a trainer server on port number 8080, and /qcbin /start underscore a dot htm. Now, if you're not able to access with this, if it keeps you giving this message stating that it's loading and please wait, well, if you wait for about like 30 seconds and nothing happens, there's another way of getting into the Quality Center. That is start underscore B. All right. So when you do that, hopefully it's going to load up and let you into the Quality Center portion, not the site administration portion, but the Quality Center portion of it. Well, as you can see, my mouse is spinning, so that means that behind the scenes something is happening. It is trying to load, and there you go. We have what is called the interface, wherein I could log into the Quality Center. Now, to log in as a Quality Center, I have to have a valid account, right? Now, those accounts can be created in the site administration. And I just wanted to show you what is a domain, so I brought you here. But then once that concept is clear of a domain and a project, then I'm gonna go and take you into the site administration and then show you as how you could be creating some new users, and assign those users to a particular project. Now, we have some users out of the box when you install HP Quality Center as a test users. They have given a bunch of users. So this Alex underscore QC is one of those users from the set of like demo users, right? So let me log in as Alex underscore QC and see what Alex can do in this quality center. Now, when Alex is trying to log in, of course, it is going to ask for his login name and his password. In my case, I kept the password as empty because it's a demo, so I kept it as empty. Now, right under it, if you notice here, there is something called automatically log in to my last domain and project on this machine. Well, what we're talking about here is um, depending on when Alex had logged into his machine previously, and if I need to get in to that project, then I could just check this, and then I could click on authenticate, and it automatically takes me into that project. um, if I don't choose this option and authenticate myself, then here in the bottom, I have the choice. I have the choice of going into whatever project I need to go into. So for now, I'm going to go with this. I'm not going to check this, meaning that I want to select from the list here. So when I do authenticate, as you can see here, I have a list of these two domains, because I have a domain called default and I have a domain called banking. And in few minutes, I'm going to be showing you how to create those domains. Now, depending on what your company is doing, you could have like 10 different domains, 20 different domains, or maybe just one domain, right? And under that domain, you could be having multiple projects. Okay, so let's say if I happen to choose default, then when you install QC comes with a default domain. And under that default domain, you have something called a quality center underscore demo project. All right. So the concept here is um, in QC, you have to have a domain, and under that domain, you will have one or more projects. Now, how are we going to create a domain? How are we going to create those projects? That's exactly what I will be showing you from that site administration portion of the quality center. Now, this area is to, once a domain and once a project has been created, then you could access, you could go into that particular project and do things. What can you do? Well, that's what we're going to be looking into right now. Once I log in, here we go. I would have, as Alex, I would have access to this particular project. What project? Quality Center underscore demo project. And well, this is a demo project which comes out of the box, meaning that once you install, this is what you have. And as you can see here, um, Quality Center, as we have been saying, that it's a test management tool, right? So you have now in Quality Center, there are it can be used to store different types of tests, and these types include a manual test, or a windrunner test, or a QTP test. Now there are basically certain tabs in QC. There's something called a management tabs, requirement tabs, business components tab, test plan, test resources, test lab, defects, and dashboard. Now, even though you see all of these are basically what is called um, I mean, these options are given to you based on the license which you have. Because if you go with the three versions of licenses, there's something called a basic license or um, um, kind of like not the full version. There is something called a enterprise version, and then there is something called the premier version. So if you go with the starter version or the basic version or the starter as they call it at HP or Mercury, that starter version has got four primary tabs. And what are those tabs? So every QC you will see a requirement tab, you will see a test plan, a test lab, and the defects. So the rest of them which you are seeing here, which is the management and which is business components and dashboard, that is because of the fact that this is not necessarily the starter version. This is what is called the next version of it, which could be an enterprise version, or it could be what is called the premier version. Well, okay, now that you have seen that these are the different areas, now what we're going to be doing is in this series of learning of Quality Center, I'm going to be taking you to into these individual tabs and then talking to you as to what they can do. What is the management? Now, before we go and cover the optional one, let's go and cover the primary tabs, which happens to be again requirements and test plan and test lab, and finally defects. So I will take you into what is called requirement. Quickly give you a view of what we have in there. Now, installing Quality Center is a chore, meaning that there's a lot of things that you got to do to make it work because depending on what kind of operating system you have and depending on what kind of integration you want to have, meaning that if you need to connect it with QTP, we have a bunch of settings which we have to do. Anyways, so let us collapse this and let me show you the way it's gonna look like. So here is your requirement tab. In the requirement tab, what we are talking about is we're going to be creating requirements in here, and in the requirements which goes in here, it's not necessarily created by a tester. It is done by either a project manager or more importantly a business analyst. So business analyst is going to get in and then create the requirements here. So this is the sample requirements which we have for Mercury Tools application. And as you can expand in here, once I tab into the Mercury Tools application, it is basically telling me certain things about it, like what is the name of the requirements here, who created this, what time it was created, what is the priority of that, and stuff like that. Now on the top here, I have requirements traceability. In our future videos, we're going to be talking about what is requirements traceability and what is the coverage, right? So when I go and then click on that here, we will have to fill out certain things in here to define the test coverage. Likewise, the linked defects, risk attachments, rich content, history, and all that, right? So when I am going to be covering the requirements, I'm going to come back and then talk about these things which you could do in here, right? So I just wanted to give you a quick view of the requirements tab, so I brought you here. So what is the next primary tab? That's the test plan. So here is the test plan. Again, you could go in here. There are some default ones which kind of like came out of the box. Whenever you see this flight reservation, you should know, as a matter of fact, that this is a demo or a sample application which we have in QTP, and this is talking about that. So as you see in here, depending on what kind of test plan we come up with, we will be going and then we'll be creating all of these different, test cases, and we have the option of running these scripts, depending on if these scripts are manual scripts or these scripts are automated scripts, we could be running it from here. So when I come and explain you about this, I'm going to be showing you as how we could be doing this. So if you see in here, there is a login flight test script, and then these are the design steps for that, which I have not actually done anything in here. Like you should say what is the step name and what is the description, what is the expected results. Now, in terms of test scripts, when you click on that, that is going to connect to whatever you have integrated with. And as I've been talking to, that these QC scripts can be integrated with either with a Windrunner or QTP or whatnot. So in this case, I've integrated this with QTP. So that's basically what it is trying to show me. It is showing it is kind of like connecting right now to QTP behind the scenes, and it'll show me the view here. As you can see, the keyword view and the expert view of that, and this is what I have there. So that's what it is showing me over there, right? Okay, well and good. Now let us second here. Remind me later. Uh, Okay, now let us go ahead and talk about the other tab, which happens to be what we said that there are four primary tabs. So requirements, test plan, test lab. So here is the view for the test lab. And what do you have in the test lab again? Depending on how fast your machine is, this might take like a minute or two to load, and as you can see, you would be seeing whatever you intend to see in here, which is again whatever tests which you have created in your test plan, you could bring them into the test lab and execute them. Now for the execution of the test, depending on if it is a business component, it's a business process, or if it is a test, we could be going and then we could be running those tests from here. So let's say if I go in and if I talk about this flight application, notice that in there you could do like create an order, you could open an order, you can update an order, and now these are the business processes, right? So now I mean again, in the future video, I'm going to be walking you through about everything as far as the business components, how you make something as a business process or a business component. So we'll be walking through all that. Over here, I'm just showing you quickly, as in the test lab, you could just come in and then execute your scripts. Now, for the execution of the scripts, you have to select whatever that test is, and then you should say run that test, or you could run a complete set of that test, right? So in this case, we have these three. By doing that, I'll be running all of these three. Now, when I say run, basically another window is going to pop up, and here it is. And then it is going to tell me that, okay, are you ready to run these tests? So if I'm ready to run this test, you will click this run one more time, and this is going to run on the server called trainer server. So just for the heck of it, I'm just going to click on that and then show it to you. The status is going to show up in here, and it'll tell me exactly what it is doing in a second. Again, depending on how fast your computer is, this message should pop up and then tell you the status of it, saying that, okay, it is trying to connect, it is connecting, it is, whatever the message is. Now, um, since behind the scenes, there's some work which needs to be done in order for you to integrate this with the QTP or Windrunner. These days, nobody uses Windrunner, but for backward compatibility, that setting is still there. So as you can see, it is struggling to connect. Now we can make sure that we can have a clean connection in one of the two ways. Either I open from here and then click on that run on host, and then it is trying to connect to my QTP, or I could temporarily stop this test and come back and then go into QTP, and then I could try and connect from there. So if I go into QTP, once I have, let's say, my QC install, I could open QC from QTP. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting up my QTP, and once I start up, I have the option of connecting from QTP into QC, and I could be saving my scripts there. I could be saving my function libraries into QC. I could be saving my shared object repositories. There's a lot of stuff which I could be doing in here. And then once I do that, rather than saving my test into my local file system or onto a network drive, I could save it into the QC. So basically what I'm going to be doing is quickly go into file, and as you can see here I have the option of getting connected to that quality center. So when I click on this, here is the server where we have hosted the quality center. So it is trying to tell me that, hey, do you want to connect to that server? Now, as you can see here, I have a drop down. I could, if I had tried to connect to another server, it would have shown me here more than one. So let us say connect to it. Now, at times, the first time it's not going to be like a clean connection, you know. So if it doesn't give you this dialog box, then you should just try and click that button again. Okay, here what we are saying here is okay, this is the quality center connection, meaning that I want to connect to the quality center server, which is the quality center is hosted on this server, trainer server 8080 QC bin. That's where it is hosted. Now, okay, if I need to connect to QC, how do I want to log in? So this is the authenticate user information. Okay, I could log in as Alex underscore QC. Since I said that in my authentication, I have not created any password, so I'm just gonna go and then click on authenticate. Once it happens, then it will show whatever projects Alex can access, whatever domains he can access. We have the information of all that over here. So right now he could access something called a default domain and a banking domain. And in the banking domain, there is a project called SunTrust. And where do we create these projects and where do we create these domains? That is done in the site administration section of QC, right? And while creating that, we could also give access to which user should have access to which particular domain, and in that domain, which particular project should they have access to. So right now, I'm trying to log in from QTP into QC. So I opened this QC connection, and I said, okay, this QC is running on this server, trainer server. And then so I clicked on that. It brought me this box, and it is asking me for some more information. And what more information it wants is how do I want to connect to QC as? So the username and password. So which I did, and now it is saying that, hey, you as an Alex, you have access to the banking domain, and you have access to the other domain called the default domain. And if I select the default one, it says that, hey, in the default domain, you have access to quality center underscore demo project. If you happen to select the banking, then you have access to something called a SunTrust, right? So depending on where you want to go and work on, you would be selecting that domain and that project, and then you would hit login. As you notice here, it says I'm connecting to it, and it is connected right now. It is connected right now. So I could just close this dialog box, and if I happen to open a new test, I have the option of saving that test um, into QC. Now, I might be just saying nothing here. So print executing SunTrust tests, right? Okay, and we don't know what test. So just my goal here is to show you if there was a lot of VB script code or whatever, and if I need to save it into QC, how would I do that? So this is, imagine that you have like lot of code in here. So I'm gonna go and say file, and I say save as. When I do that, a window is gonna pop up, and in this window, like all the time, this window would have everything in here plus one more option. This is the file system option. I could go ahead and then I could save it wherever I want to save it over here, which I've been doing as a part of my traininglight.com classes. But in this case, we are not going to save it in the file system. We're going to go and then save it in the Quality Center test plan. Now notice that it gives you the Quality Center test plan because it is a test. So I'm just going to go and then click on that, and lo and behold, what you have is this is a mapping to whatever I have access to. I have access to that banking domain, right? So in the banking domain, there could be one or more projects. So if I double click on that, it will show me that project or projects. So right now there's only one project, which is SunTrust. In that project, I have created some of these tests. So this is going to be another test which I'll be storing in there. So this test is, let's say, TC underscore QC connection demo. All right. And I save that. Okay. So I saved this test from QTP, and I close this. If I come back now into my, I think my QC had frozen here. So what I'm going to be doing is quickly closing this. Probably it got frozen. So let me open a new instance of that. So the way I'm going to open a new instance of that is I will bring up another one. And I have, rather than typing on the browser the URL of that, I have made this shortcut. So when I click on the shortcut, which is again http colon forward slash forward slash, and I would have type trainer server colon adqc bin. Okay, so now if I go into my quality center, again that quality center would bring up that A. So I know that my A is not working, so I'm going to go into B, and then that is going to give me access to my GUI to get into Quality Center. So I'm going to log into the Quality Center, authenticate Alex, and it gives me the option of either going in here. I'm going to go into the banking domain and select that SunTrust, and then click on that. And let me see if it has brought that test in there. So as it is trying to log in, it had logged in, and it had pointed me to the dashboard, I guess, or yeah, it pointed me to the dashboard. I was playing around with some of the things in there. So we could go into the test plan, and we could see if under that SunTrust, or rather the test lab, under that I have banking, and under that I have SunTrust, and as you can see here, the TC QC connection demo, I can see it here, right? And when I click on that, it gives me basically I could go ahead and then I could open that test script from here just to see what it is. So when I click on that, it is going to go open that test and gives me the keyword view or the expert view of that. And we will, by default, it is opening in the keyword view. I'm going to go into the expert view, and what did I put in there? Print executing SunTrust test, and that's what we have here. So as you can see, you could create a test in QTP, and you could store that test over here. Now, when you save that test, it is going to show up in your test plan. In order for you to execute that test, you have to go into what is called the test lab. And in the test lab, you could go ahead and then you could execute that test. So as the test lab comes up, basically, I just want to reiterate the fact that if you are interested in knowing some more details or the in-depth knowledge of QC, you should be looking into the course which we offer from traininglight.com. And in here, um, okay. As you can see here, in the we did not bring that over here, right? So what I can do is I could go in here and I could go into the SunTrust, and then I could say that okay, I need to bring in whatever test I need to bring in. So I could basically export those tests here. I could bring in those tests here into this execution grid. I could bring in those tests. And once I have, because right now it is sitting in the text plan module. So for me to execute those tests, I have to bring those tests over here into this grid, right? Add them into this grid, and then basically run those tests from here, right? Okay, so this I think is a very good introduction to your QC. And what we have seen is, what is QC? What are the different areas in QC which you have to work in? There's something called the site administration area. There is something called quality center area. Site administration area helps you to go ahead and then create some domains, and in those domains you would have projects which you would be creating. And once you create those projects, then you would be assigning some users to those projects. And once you assign the users to those projects, the next thing is that user can log in to the quality center and then interact with the different modules which we have in the quality center, and they are represented with those tabs. Again, there are so many other things which you could do in here. So if this is something which you would like to do, then contact us at www.traininglight.com, or you could shoot us an email at sales@traininglight.com. And we have tons of courses for automation software testing training. And some of our courses currently we are offering are QC. As you can see, there is a QTP, Quick Test Professional. There is an advanced QTP course. There is Selenium IDE, Selenium RC Server, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid, and we also do database testing. We also do SOAP UI for web service testing. We also have courses for SQL for testers, and so many other courses. For these are for functional testing. We got performance testing with load runner. So take a look at www.traininglight.com, and if there is something which you would like to participate or be a student, so do contact us at sales@traininglight.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in your learning of these tools. Well, that's about it from my side. Thank you again, and I hope to see you back on another video. Thank you.